All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this early morning. It is 6:50 in the morning. I have my cup of coffee, and I'm coming this morning with an awesome message. Um, this message is going to bounce off of many messages that Sister Deborah have uploaded in time past. Uh, the Father refreshed my memory because he wanted me to understand things that I have already taught. What more do one search for? What more do one seek for? He didn't gave the final beginning to the end. He didn't left all his prophecies and all the warnings. And here he sends his servants to work with the people of today. And yet, what more do they want? What they want you to say, Deborah? What do they want to hear from you? What do they want you to say? Have I not said and they have not followed? Have they not heard and have not followed? Have they not behold and have not followed? Yah is saying that to me as his servant, that you didn't put much labor, and work in. Never estimate that you are not fulfilling your duty as a servant. So he began to tell me about the videos that I have uploaded and the videos in time past. Because when I woke up early this morning, 5 something, the first thing I wanted to do is hear the video I uploaded yesterday. And as I heard it, I heard so much power in it. And when I say that power in it, it's that spiritual power in the words that were spoken. What will make it so much power resting within, it was so much spirit and truth in it. This is what he means, that his word will not come back void. Just because Yah has spoken out of me does not mean it's going to come back and it's going to return void. It won't. It shall still yet fulfill that which was said in time past. So a lot of us thinking, okay, one's word cannot be manifest or cannot be weighed or valued because of your flesh. No, baby, heaven's in received it according to the way it has given it. It is finished. Okay? While you still trying to figure out where you start. It's over. You still in the line at the starting line, trying to figure out where can I fit in? What shall I be? 1, 2, 3. What part of the line shall I start in? The Father wants you to know it's over. It never was a lane that you can get in the beginning and hope that you are there already. And you have the fullness. You were supposed to follow the protocol of the Spirit. And he began to lay things on me that I have spoken in time past. And what I meant by that, Yah is only revealing things to the spiritual ones that still walking in all this darkness. A day in which he has called them to walk therein. He's bringing them much light in the midst of it. And what it's going to allow them to do is walk in peace and walk in joy and walk in spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and spiritual understanding. When people see you, they're going to see you before they see you. They're going to see you before they see you, because they're going to see your spirit. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to get into that because the Father revealed something to me this morning. When I say Yah revealed something to me, that means he's teaching me. How many of you all can actually say Yah still teaching you? Who can actually say that? You got 99.9 think they got the keys already in their hand. But I'm going to reveal something to you all that you all might not have known. And some of you might have already known. But I'm just telling you what the Father laid on me this morning. Even though I knew it, but I didn't know it. Even though I knew it, I didn't know it. Even though I knew it, I didn't know it. See, knowing, even though I knew it, y'all always got the fullness on things. It's no end when Yah is teaching you. So always be ready to hear the voice, to hear the word of Yah. See, once you know where that word come from, you know what that word is, you know where that word is going, then you're going to have that word in you teaching you from the inside, not on the outside, but from the inside. 99.9 don't know the word itself. They don't know where it come from. They don't know where it's going. They don't know where it is. They don't know how to walk in it. They don't know how to talk in it. They don't know how to teach in it. They don't know how to preach in it. They don't know how to do anything in the word. You know why? Because the word is in you. It's not something your outer man has the power to speak. You can't speak spirit and truth in your flesh. You can't see in your flesh. You can't have an ear in your flesh. It's the things in which you are in the spirit of who Yah is that gives you that ability to hear with an ear, to see with an eye, to feel it from the spirit. Stop giving so much glory to your flesh. And that too doesn't matter. No matter what you say, it doesn't matter because it's only to go to those who are seeking more light, seeking even the light itself, that they may walk therein to do what? To do what? To do what? To find their way to that narrow gate. They're going to find a way. But Yah is leading light, that they leaving light that they may find their way to the narrow gate. People think they there because they say they there, because they flesh got them thinking they there. I can hear back in the days of Noah, every imagination and thought was evil and wicked. And you think you're going somewhere today. You better sit down, clown. Okay, I want to talk about, I want to first go to Ephesians. I want to go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31. I want to go to Ephesians 5, chapter 5 and verse 31. I have spoken to you all several times. Now I'm going to dig deep into something that is going to really identify you to yourself. Okay? It's going to let you know what key you really have. It's going to let you know who you walk with, who you stand for, and who you are born to follow therein. I wanted to take this message to my son, and my son who's getting married, because he wanted me to do some marriage counseling. And I'm glad to have this morning from the Most High, because it is going to help me even level off to him a heavy message that I know his spirit going to receive and be delighted in, that his mother is leaving him this great revelation, what is plainly seen, but yet the light has to take us. The word leads us. The word of Yah leads us to the light, that we may find our way to the narrow gate. So I'm hoping that even this message, this part of this message that I'm giving you, I'm going to do his video tonight as far as a marriage counselor. So I'm so delighted that when I turned on the bathroom sink, I turned it on, and instant the revelation was bam. I like Yah rumbling like that. He know he can rumble. I mean, when you can give me something from A to Z, like I turn on the water flows. Well, you tell me that ain't no power. And he nailed that thing in me. I love that. That's the one I come to know. Who do you know? Who do you know? Okay, so I want to start off by going to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31. First and foremost, I want to talk about something before I get to these 4 verses. I want to talk about how the Father was talking about how a man shall leave his wife, his mother and his father, and he shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one in the flesh. Notice I said a man is to leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Let's go there. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31. And I'm going to sum it up, and then you're going to understand where I'm coming from. And then I'm going to try to show you how I'm putting that in with my son and his marriage. Okay? Marriage counseling. Okay? So when you get to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31, it reads, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh." Okay, there's a power punch in there that 99.15 trillion has dropped, and that is become, they shall be one flesh. Okay, let's go to Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 10. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 8. In the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 8, Yeshua said this. And they, in verse 8, and they twine, which means two, shall become one flesh. So then they are no more two, but one flesh. The power punch in there is one flesh. The Yah was telling me that he was saying something way back from the beginning. He turned around and said it during the time where Yeshua, he said it at the after the death of Yeshua, and he said it in Genesis. What more can he say? And I'm going to sum it up how I have taught, how I have spoken it to you all. Okay? And you're going to learn something today. This is an awesome message. So here in Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 8, Yeshua was being tempted by the, I think it was the Pharisees, about regarding Moses giving a written decree to send their wives away. But listen to what Yeshua said. And they two shall be one flesh, so that they are no more two, but one flesh. Just in that verse 8, you notice, look at it. Don't look at me. Look at it. Don't look at me. Look at it. It got on there twice in one verse. One flesh. One flesh. Yah is sending a message to you today. Remember how Sister Deborah been teaching y'all? I'm speaking to that one. You don't get it. See, the one flesh is not like the one in the spirit. We are one in the oneness of the spirit. But the one flesh is speaking to the flesh. And I'm going to give you the difference in what he's trying to give you this morning as a power punch. You ought to understand when I'm telling you the light, that light is the only thing that's going to lead you to that narrow gate, to take you to the way you need to go. So if you don't have a light, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got spirit and truth. You ain't got the way to the narrow gate. You see how important it is to have someone like Sister Deborah leading you on this devil platform. And you come bringing your devilish self on this devil platform, questioning Yah servant. Figure your power is greater. Go your way. Get off this page. Okay? So there I show you in Mark chapter 10, verse 8, where Yeshua stepped in and said it. You are no longer two, but one flesh. You're no longer two, but one flesh. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31, it says one flesh. In Mark chapter 10, verse 8, Yeshua said one flesh, two becoming one flesh. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 5. In Matthew chapter 19 and verse 5. This is also Matthew's part of how he understood or what he is going to say that Yeshua said. Mark said what Yeshua said in Mark chapter 10, verse 8. Here go Matthew's chapter 19 and verse 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave his mother and his father, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. What is matching in that? Oneness, one flesh. You notice that this is being repeated from the beginning. So you now know that from the beginning mean from the creation, from the whole desire of the spiritual heart of Yah was that a man and a woman come together in a oneness of one flesh. Why? Because he knew that he is a oneness of feminine and masculine. Makes up who he is in the spirit. You see? So he's saying a man and a woman, when they come together, they become one flesh. So no more two, but one. He was bringing you to the way of the kingdom. See, you ain't gonna get up in the kingdom and see a feminine and a masculine. Yah is feminine and a masculine in oneness, in a oneness. So he's saying even in the flesh, a man is not supposed to be a woman and a female. But he's saying a man is to cleave to a woman and they become one flesh. Like the kingdom spirit of who Yah is, feminine and masculine, a oneness. He's saying in the flesh, when a man leaves his mother and father and cleave to his wife, they become that same oneness, but only and only in the flesh. I'm going to mess you up. I'm going to mess you up from the floor up. Here I go. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24, and it reads, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Now, this is in Genesis. So we heard it in Genesis. We came to the center, which is the Yeshua HaMashiach, and he said it. And we got the word from Matthew and Mark. I know Luke said it in John, but we got their view of it being said by Yeshua HaMashiach. Then, when all of that was said and done, we pull up in Ephesians, and here go Paul. He said it. You know, he wasn't one of the ones that was walking with Yeshua. You see, but yet he's saying the same thing Yeshua HaMashiach said to the disciples, and he said what was said in the beginning. A man leave his mother and his wife. A man leaves his mother and his father and cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Let me throw you overboard now. What he was explaining, because I said I'm going to have to do my son's video. I keep saying it. I keep throwing it off, but the Father want me to do it to bring my son to the fullness of light. Not to interfere with his marriage, but to bring him to the fullness of the light, because I think he's the only one on the earth. I think Quiet Storm is the only one on the earth. I think Quiet Storm is the only one on the earth. I think Quiet Storm is the only one on the earth that knoweth who I am. as if he knew who I was at one time, meaning in the kingdom. I know y'all didn't know nothing about that, but I brought it to you. Okay. So let me tell you, I gave you 4 verses, and each one in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, one in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 5, one in Mark chapter 10 and verse 8, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31, all in different spaces in your study guide. Okay. That leads you to know that it was always meant, what was said, it was meant for you to pay attention to that. You know why? Because the difference is, I explained to you where the oneness of why a man and a woman were to cleave together to bring the fullness of the oneness. Okay? This is even to the oneness when they come together, male and female, they bring a child, which is another entity, another flesh into the world where Yah breathed out his spirit, okay, into that child. So that's another oneness coming out of the 1 and the 2. Now listen to this. Male and female. A man leave his mother and father, and he is to go over here and cleave to his wife, and they are to become one in the flesh, because they're going to bring oneness to the earth in the flesh. This flesh male and this flesh female are going to come one flesh, because they're going to bring other flesh unto the world. Birth, bring them forth. Look how Yah did it. He brought his feminine and his masculine into the world. Male and female. Feminine and masculine. They are one. Feminine and masculine is who, that's what make up a oneness of who the Father is. He's feminine and masculine. So he created flesh as a feminine and a masculine to bring forth more flesh in the feminine realm and the masculine once they become one. A masculine can't bring forth the seeds. A man can't bring forth the sperms in his seeds. The sperms, which are the seeds. A woman can't bring forth the seed or the sperm unless it has entered into her. That's what brings it into a oneness. You see, he's giving you an ideal of how heaven is orchestrated in Yah. He is the oneness. He has the feminine and the masculine. Now listen to this. You know how I explained to you all about, and I know I might have done it probably no more than about 8 videos since I've been on here, but I'm going to speak on it today with great power. As you see, it lets you know the power punch word is one flesh. I want you to understand that we can't worship Yah in the flesh. So we have to understand this oneness coming in the flesh is the way he's going to bring other flesh out of this one coming together with this one and cleaving, and they becoming another one comes out of them, and another one come out, and another one come out. You see the importance that a man to leave his mother, he is to cleave to something that's already ready. And they are to become one. Not 2, but 1. This shows you right there, polygamy was never, ever a part of the creation in the beginning. He said a man and a woman become one flesh, not a man and 5 women. Yah didn't do that. So you see how just Genesis chapter 2, verse 24 break any protocol of polygamy. It wasn't that the ball was dropped here. It was just that, as Adam did, he gave him the rules. He gave him what the instructions and direction and the consequences. And man said, hell with that. We're going to do it our way. And this is what you see today. This is what you see today. The outer order of the order that y'all created. Now I'm going to take you there, y'all. I'm going to take you there and drop you off. Okay? Now, what he was wanting me to do is bring that into a fold, bring it into my son's message as a man leaving his mother and father and cleaving to his wife, because it's all been out of order, first and foremost. Because man took it out of order, the consequences rest not on woman, but on man. And because woman come out of man, sperm, and I'm not talking about Adam and Eve, I'm talking about everybody on the earth today came out of a man's sperm, then her ways matches his ways. Yah is still got his eye on that male, that masculine. He still got that one eye on that masculine who changed the whole direction of Yah's will in the beginning. Okay? And this is why the consequences is there on them, because they changed it and they walked Yah's, they changed all of his protocol their way, and they changed it and they lived it, and they're going to die it, and they're going to go all the way to hell in it. Oh, Deborah, no, you didn't go there. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, let's go. So as I sat here and I said, when what? Shall I pull out the verses that says one flesh? There should be one. He said, yeah, because I don't deal with the flesh, Deborah. You know that. So when you see him saying a man and a woman and they become one flesh, look, he just said one flesh. Does he deal with flesh? No. You can read, or have the Ruach ever revealed to you. He deal with you in the spirit, not in the flesh. You can't come to him in the flesh. You got to come to him in the spirit of worship. So if that's the case, what are you saying about the one flesh? Because the ball, it wasn't so much as when they're dealing with the ball was dropped in Genesis 1 when they destroyed the mission Yah assigned woman. And they took on a whole new, but just to see how they took it way back in Genesis, they took the order from woman and made it about man and man only. So this is what it is. This is what you see today. So you don't see a woman destroying the world, you see a man. But their best scapegoat is to blame woman. That's their only way out of being able to commit that lie. Even polygamy is an enjoyment for a worldly, wicked enjoyment for who? The men. Everything that makes them have the pleasure that they desire as a man, even to be thought of as a king, even to be thought of as a ruler, even to be thought of as a leader. That's all in their flesh. These are not orders they were called to in the spirit. They are called through the flesh to lead the flesh in that order. So Yah wants you to understand, when he's saying they become one flesh, this is a mystery. Don't get it bent. Don't get it bent. Coming together as one in the flesh don't mean nothing in the kingdom. I'm going to judge you based on your own spirit, because you fail to understand. He got a spirit, you got a spirit. If that one can't come into a oneness, can't nothing else. This is what he's saying. You could be on this platform, Deborah, another 2-3 years. And unless the people come in the oneness of the spirit, nothing matters. That's why there's no unity can be found on the earth, even amongst the heathens and the Gentiles. There's no unity. There's evil, hate, wicked, and abomination, Satanism. That's their unity. Oh yeah, you can come into unity real good among Satan, wicked and evil, darkness. Oh, you can come to how you think they been able to rule the whole world? Because they know how to come into a unity, into a oneness. But the Father said to me that his whole ideal of men understanding and women understanding a oneness in the flesh is not the same as a oneness in the spirit. He said that's is when he's saying, seek ye the kingdom first. Seeking the kingdom first means before a wife, a husband, children, or anything. That's why Yah came to heathens at a young age. He brought forth heathens. Yah always claimed heathens at a young age, so he can get them away from their mother and their father and use them spiritual the way that's the only way he could do it. That's the same way with me. I try to explain that to you all. He came to me at 4 years old. I mean, he was probably already in me, but he dealt with me and I can remember back then. I can remember that, y'all. So I'm saying to you all that he comes at a young age where he take on you in the spirit. He don't interfere with your life, not the life, the living that you have in your flesh, but he claimed you in the spirit because he knew what he sent down. Okay? So people really don't understand that when he's speaking of oneness of the flesh, he's just meaning the things of the flesh. He's not meaning a oneness in the spirit. That's why when one seek ye the kingdom first, he didn't say seek marriage first. He said seek ye the kingdom first. A lot of people want to seek Yah once they become married. They want to seek Yah while they're engaged and while they're married. No, a lot of that is what Paul was saying that interferes with you really seeking Yah with a strong heart because you're seeking first the flesh oneness and togetherness. But as a young person, like I was telling you, I was, Yah had already snatched me in His order, and I love that. I really love that idea of Him taking on me like that. Now He not love, but I'm talking about I like how He took me in and took care of me at a very young age, claiming, putting his shield on me and making me recognize it. I put it like that. So what I'm taking you to the mountain with is this. You out there have no idea. Nothing that you do in the flesh is greater than the relationship you have with Yah and his servant in the spirit. You can't override it. You see, and that's where people are messing up. You don't erase the oneness in the flesh. You don't erase your children, your mom, your dad, your friends. But what you do understand ain't nothing greater than the oneness of the body of Hamashiach. You see, and this is another reason why it's important that individuals who are not of the light, that is not of spirit and truth, does not have the Ruach, stand down off Sister Deborah's page. Get out of here. Take off running today. Because the thing about it is, it all comes into a oneness of the spiritual sense. He wants me to let my son know that his marriage would never be greater than the oneness of him and I in the spirit. A man and woman coming together and becoming one, two becoming one, is not greater than the oneness in the spirit. It's not greater. This is why a lot of people have been married so many years and are miserable. Because they thinking a marriage is all that and honorable in a way. It is honorable to Yah if if two people in darkness get married, because this is what Yah is saying. That's your marriage. I honor the fact that, okay, you got married to, y'all matching. Like Adam and Eve. Y'all matching. I don't have no problem. But when you think of Adam and Eve, when he took a rib out of Adam and he, they say he created woman. You can't make a rib, but Yah is the I am. He can do whatever. And I don't think it was like they made it to be, but whatever. Let's say, and here he got woman. They didn't become the oneness when Yah brought her to him. They become the oneness once they're together as a marriage. They become the oneness where? In the flesh. So don't forget, the flesh has nothing to do with the spirit. So when you on this side with your flesh, think it's going to override and y'all going to put Sister Deborah down to the low and arise you to the utmost, you're lost with the cause and without. And that's your destiny. Lost eternal. Because being married does not mean that the one you're married to becoming one is a does not represent the oneness of Yah. You see, when a man and a woman comes in one unity and they both are equally yoked in the spirit, that is the same as Sister Deborah. But when a marriage is together and they become one flesh, understanding flesh is here, spirit is here. You see? So I sit back and I watch how they never turned it any other way. But there will be two becoming one flesh. To let you know, it's the two coming together is about the flesh. That's the mystery. It's all about the flesh. Two coming together to work together as one in the flesh. Notice it's saying they're becoming one. Not man 80%, woman 20. Man 90%, woman 10. No, one. That's what make them the one. It isn't saying that to make them one is to say one is the ruler and the controller and rules over the other. That ain't what it's saying. It's saying you become one flesh to the point of equal, like created in the beginning. Him and her, I give dominion to. He gave him and her to have dominion on the earth in the flesh. Oneness. They become one. He didn't give dominion to him to go cleave to her and become one. How are you going to become one if he gave you the full dominion? If he gave you ruler over her? How is that a oneness? That's not even. That's not even. A oneness cleaving together is a oneness. Two flesh cleaving together as a oneness. So if you cleave, if this is one pen, this is one pen. It's not telling you, oh, a part of the pen is better than the bottom part. One side of the pen works better than the other side. One side of this pen is ruling the other side of the pen. See, that's what they didn't understand when they the ball was dropped in Genesis and they stole the whole will of the Father. Not the whole will, but they not stole, but they changed the whole protocol of Yah order from Genesis 1. They made man. So you get to today and you see where man couldn't uphold the position that they stole from woman. They took her identity, they stole it, they rigged it, they lied on it, and that's where they at today. And because they did that, that's what made them. They did it not knowing that it's going to put you in a position where you should be the breadwinner, you should be the head, you should be over this, you should be controlling this, you should be working, taking care of, providing, paying bills. If you would have left it like y'all had it, would be equal. You would have dominion equal, but you didn't want that. You changed it, and now you're looking all stupid today. And now you're growing inside of you what you call hate. It's in you. You're growing hate for your own women, which you were to go in and become a oneness. All because your forefathers decided to take the oneness and make one greater than the other. And they put women below their feet. And this is why you run around here and men saying women want them to pay for everything, want them to do everything. When you took that identity, when you stole her called position, it was just like the Jacob going in pretending he's Esau. You see, it's happening. You can sit and lie and look all cockeyed and whatever. It's actually happening. It's actually happening. They have taken it, and this is why you see the world a mess, because they didn't keep it balanced from the beginning, where women and men were to work together equally in ruling this world. Satan took it out. Said, no, the weak link is man. Help us build this plan, and they built it. And this is what you see today. Just imagine, had it been equal, how much more could a woman have done? She done a lot. Look at how she took on the most powerful part of birthing life, or bringing life forth, or taking the sperm from man and incubating it and taking care of it and bringing it up and bringing forth and having to bring forth the living, and Yah give them the life. Man couldn't have done that. Even every man that go into the labor room, they saying, wait a minute, my wife is the winner. They always go back, and when they go and see what a woman go through doing labor, but what they didn't understand, it's not just labor, the whole pregnancy. And the next 18 to 25 to 30 years do a mother go through. And all they can stand on this earth and say that the women of Judah went and got rid of her and put them out the house. Would they needed to get rid of her if you were bringing in the money? If you were laboring to help do something to maintain that? See, they never find that to be the real cause. Because it's always an escape way out. And truly, I was saying to the Father, is there any way that they're going to come to the truth of it? No. For what? It ain't going to take them to the kingdom. Hell is already bound in people. And they walking around here saying, I got the keys to the kingdom. I know I'm going. And they are bound to the lake of fire already. So what he's saying is, one flesh is not like unto a oneness in the spirit. Anyone that has a oneness with family, friends, co-workers, neighborhood, husband, children, mother and father. None of that, none of that can overpower the relationship, Yah, expectation for you to have with the oneness of those that's in the spirit. It's not the same as the oneness in the flesh, y'all. It's different. Now, if the oneness in the flesh are both spiritual, then yes, they got the best of it all. It's what you call a very powerful, equally yoked. I put it that way. Oh, you equally yoked. But when it come down to you having to come to this page and listen and eat and feed from what Sister Deborah is saying, it's going to go through you like you have a bowel movement that's running, just going in one end and coming out the next one, other end, running, because that's all you're doing. The people don't understand that the mission of even getting out of here, you still gonna have to connect with the remnant that he is forming in his hand to get up out of here. You still gonna have to connect. You're gonna still have to be, but you're not gonna be connecting out of your flesh, connecting like many of you all are doing. You come on this page and you look at me all cockeyed. You try to measure what I'm saying, to try to find error in what I'm saying. You're trying to teach your own self to seek, ask, and knock. You're trying to gain a spiritual way to Yah, and Yah ain't gonna give you the spiritual way to nothing. If he can tell me to make sure I add this to my son's marriage counseling video, what do you think he's saying to you? He's wanting him to understand, if I send someone down as my servant and you're not in a unity with them, you're not in a unity with me. It is impossible. It is impossible for one to come on this devil platform and sit and listen to Sister Deborah and not be in a unity with Sister Deborah, the servant of the Most High Yah, and Yah himself. Yah is not going to let you be in unity with him if you're not in unity with him that he has served. He has sent to serve you. He's not going to allow it. And a lot of you all have painted Yah out of a picture of your own self-understanding. No matter how much light Sister Deborah pour out, you're still going to walk in the darkness of your own dark understanding and not even knowing that your thoughts are wicked. You see? The way you judge and the way you see things, the way your eyes see, your ear hear is darkened. You cannot walk with the light and be loaded with darkness and think that, okay, I'm in there. You can't do it. So the whole overall of this video is to inform you. There's going to be many walking or coming out from the four corners, but only a remnant is going to Mount Zion. And you best bet it is not going to be a remnant of the flesh. It's going to be a remnant of the spirit. But they're going to be coming in the flesh. But it's going to be the flesh remnant. The flesh coming. And in the flesh is the vessel of those that are the spiritual seeds. You see? So you're not going to be able to think that you just going to fit in because you figure you in. I'm going to tell you like he telling me to tell my son. No relationship that he has in his marriage, with his children, with his workers, with his co-workers, no matter where he go, will be greater than the one that he has sent in the midst of you. It will not override it. And the real where he gave me, what he gave me was the 4 verses to show the beginning. Then Yeshua said it, and then Paul said it. One flesh. That ain't got nothing to do with the spirit. See, people thinking when you get married, you become one, you leave your mother and father, you don't have nothing to do with them. Everything is embedded into that oneness. No, 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 no. That's only in the flesh. That's only in the flesh, baby. That's what it's telling you. That's why I said it's a mystery. It tells you it's a mystery. Because a lot of people don't understand it's a mystery because I'm bringing the mystery before you. Those that's in the light, those who have an ear to hear, you know who I'm talking about. Those who are the one, you know who I'm talking about. It's bringing it forth to let you know that the unity in the flesh of a marriage is not the same as the unity in the body of Hamashiach. When you take on the unity in the flesh, it becomes a oneness in the flesh, okay? But in the flesh, you have to be able to know this is flesh. Let me get lining up with the unity of the body of Hamashiach. You see? Okay, I'm over here in the flesh. I'm married. I have children. I have a mom and dad. But never think that your unity on the left is greater than your unity on the right. But you will never leave the left when it come time. Because your heart will be in the unity of the flesh, having not the desire to have the hope, the promise, the righteousness, the light, the spirit and truth comes from the right end, which is the spiritual end. You must learn to separate it from the unity of the oneness of the flesh. You must separate it. You must see them to be totally different. Not in the way that you treat one no different than you treated the other. In the way of harshness or evil and wicked or anything. See, he ain't telling you to go treat one, all up there, all up there. And let me tell you why. Because the one in the spirit is going to be the one that's going to be suffer the greatest. Because it's the righteous end. The one in the flesh, you're going to be constantly trying to bring a oneness, as it is said, a man leaving his mother and father and cleaving to her. It's constant battle to keep that oneness in the flesh. But the oneness in the spirit is guaranteed. You see? It has the things that's greater than your flesh. See, your spirit is the only thing Yah is wanting to abide in. Your flesh is what the only thing your husband, your wife, your children, your mom, your dad want to abide in. So you have to separate the two and walk in one different than you will walk in the other. You see? Walk in one different than you would walk in the other. You see? But when it come down to spirit and truth, the light, having the ear, the eye, having the wisdom of the spirit, the knowledge of the spirit, the understanding of the spirit, having the Holy Spirit itself, it's going to be on your spirit. While your flesh is over here married, while your flesh is over here a mother, your flesh is over here a sister, a grandmother, a husband, a wife. It's over here with your wife. It's over here with your kids. It's over here with the things of the world. Your flesh. Don't get it bent and start hating on the spiritual realm because it darkens your spirit. That's how he deceived the world. He was able to darken you from the outside in, making you think that that's more important than anything that exists in the world. You have to understand the unseen is greater than the seen. Let me put it like that. But see, people won't get that because they think the seen is greater than the unseen. No, no. The seen ain't going nowhere but to the lake of fire. The flesh is not entering into the kingdom. You see? The flesh has its place to the grave and it knows it. I know a lot of people on this earth want to put their flesh somewhere else, but baby, I'm going to tell you, the flesh knows, hey, I'm going to the grave. And where the grave is going? To the lake of fire. Y'all didn't know that, did you? So while you cutting up in that flesh, the flesh is assigned already to the lake of fire. It's called the grave. See, it's already assigned to the lake of fire. It's your spirit that you got to get in order. But it has to be able to tame that flesh. To let that flesh, my spirit, come first. I must worship the Father. I must be obedient to the side that is spirit versus that which is flesh. What happens then? Yah will be there 100% for you to make sure your T's is crossed and your I's is dotted in your flesh. But that's an area many people don't want to enter in because they don't want to let go of the fact that their flesh ain't got no good in it. They think they flesh got them where they at, got them where they going, got them having what they having, doing what they doing. They think they flesh has been chosen to enter into the kingdom. Knowing, not knowing. Let me see if I can pull that up for you so you can. Let's see if I can. Okay, let's go into Revelation chapter 20. Now this is this. Now watch this here. I'm trying to get y'all there. This, let me see it first. Let me just do this here. In Revelation chapter 21 and verse, let's start with 13. Revelation chapter 21 and verse 13. I'm showing you exactly that flesh that unites, leave his mother and father to cling to his wife. Let me show you where it goes. That one flesh, let me show you where that flesh goes. Okay. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. Death and the hell. Death and hell is the grave. In case y'all didn't know that. Delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. Now listen to this. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. You see, the ground itself. See, a lot of people thinking this is just death. They don't understand this death is cast. I need to go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. Revelation 20, verse, let's start with 11. I want you to pay attention to this. I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heavens fled away. And there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah. The books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. So when it says the books, that's the book to the lake of fire. When it says the book of life, that's the book to eternal life in the kingdom. And it says, and the book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of the things which were written in the books according to their works. Now, what is he doing? Right here, he's showing you the judgment of those whose name are written in which book, in the book of life or the book of death. Which, and I love it when it says small and great. It's letting you know it ain't gonna be no a baby go to all babies go to heaven and oh no you bent, cause see heaven know who that baby was, who that baby represent in the seed. So get somewhere and sit down. You can't make nothing. You talk sound like people saying dogs go to heaven for what? You see, and it says the death were judged out of these things which is written in the books according to their works. The dead. You see that? DEAD, the dead. Verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead. See, there were dead people in the sea. They gave up which were in it. And death and hell deliver up the dead which were in them. What is the death? The death and the hell delivered up the dead. So you have to understand what death and hell is. You have to understand the sea gave up. That means they were down there in the sea, dead. Okay? And the sea gave up the death which were in it, and the dead and the hell delivered up. See, death and hell delivered up. So what is death and hell? It's the grave. Delivered up the dead, you see, which were in them. And they were judged according, every man according to their works. So they were everybody that had died, whether you died and you've been buried in the grave, or you in the sea, or you somewhere that never found you, still in the grave, which is the ground. You there when you wake up. Everything that's going, when that trumpet is blown for judgment, everything, the sea, the grave, every place is going to give up the spirit of who you are, and y'all gonna stand before y'all for judgment. Okay, now listen to this. And they were judged every man according to their works. Okay, we understand that. Listen to this. And death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. That place where all of our graves go, our bodies go into, we call it the grave. It's cast into the lake of fire. It's cast into, it says the death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. See, even the grave going to the lake of fire. You see where where the bodies goes back to the earth, back to the grave when you're buried. It's being cast into the lake of fire, baby. You see, y'all don't have no place for it. He don't want it. So what makes you think he want you and your wife as coming into oneness in the flesh? What makes you think he wants that to represent him? No, he wants your spirit of who you are to represent him. But it never should. Equally yoked is when these two have come together equally, and Yah has saw fit that they come together equally in him. That's equally yoked. Those are the marriage that Yah don't want to cease. Okay? To let no man bring you apart. Those are the marriages. It's when y'all married in Yah equally yoked. Not when you're married in the flesh and calling it a marriage of Yah because you took the vows. No. Equally mean in the spirit. Equally in the spirit. Serving the same Yah. Worshiping the same Yah in the oneness of Yah. Equal. Those are the marriage that he wants to come together out of his own heart equally. I like that equal because he said both of them gonna be equal. It should be. It's going back to that, back to Genesis 1. Them having dominion, not him. So what happens here is hell is going to the grave, and the bodies, the spirits goes before Yah for judgment. It tells you that. And it says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah. So the spirit stands before Yah. But the flesh, where the bodies were dead, they were some in the sea, there were some in the grave, there are some that never been found. All of that's going to the lake of fire too. But see, here it is in verse 21 where you see where our spirit stand before Yah. But here, as it says in 13 and 14, it's letting you know that where we rest, our flesh rest and decayed and died, that's going to the lake of fire as well. See, y'all got it all wrong. So it's going back to show you that a marriage that's a man leave a woman, leave his wife, leave his mother and the father and cling to his wife, is just a unity, an example of a oneness in God. He wants you to be oneness in him as it is in the spirit realm. Be that oneness in your flesh, feminine and masculine, and that oneness still mean equal. It still mean equal. You see, that's how big people got it. It still mean equal. It don't mean he's over there. And if so, men would have been okay, because then now if we're in the home and I'm not working and things are not well, she'll work and I do my part, or I work and she'll do her part. Let's both work and do our part, or just equally doing something to bring to the household. That's what they should have been doing, but they didn't bring nothing. And they felt that, okay, the woman went to welfare and that's why the house is broke. Y'all just sick. And there's no waking up out of that sickness. But the key to the message for my son is to don't believe the way the world have told you. You are to understand there's something greater than your unity in the flesh with your wife. And that is, you better have some unity with Yah, and don't let him have his servant down here. And you don't have unity with his servant, but you have unity with your wife when you are the serpent seed. You come down here to serve the serpent seed because you're thinking everything of God is pleasured and pleased by the flesh. No, 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 no. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. And I say that to each and every last one of you, even when I'm talking about any and everything I talk about. I'm trying to get people to understand there's a lane that you're walking in, a oneness in the spirit. But what I am to expect in this day and time to come is that the oneness is within themselves. And it has changed their way of thinking, feeling, acting, conducting themselves in any shape, form, or fashion. So that's the oneness that most people are in, 99.9 is involved in. That's not the spiritual oneness. And it's nothing wrong with you being in the natural oneness. You can rest therein, and it's nothing wrong with it. When I mean there's nothing wrong with you, where you need to be. That's why I say, people who come to this page, you ain't got no business on this page if you're not oneness in the spirit. Okay? And the oneness in the spirit on this page, if you're not there, bypass this page and keep it going. Because the oneness, it don't matter if you look and you're on here. It don't matter if you continue to listen and you continue to be on here listening to Sister Deborah and watching Sister Deborah and listening to it. Don't matter. Like I said, Judah was at the table all that time with Yeshua HaMashiach, but his destiny was hell. Adam was set in the garden with everything perfect, great and excellent, but his destiny was hell. What's the deal with you? Huh? So when Sister Deborah tell you, she's just telling you for your own good. Go where your darkness or where your flesh rests are in. And if somebody on here giving you spirit of truth or giving you anything, go where they are at. Sister Deborah, is saying to you today, and I must make sure I say it and stress it even more often. Go where you belong. Don't stand on this platform. Don't be on here because this is not for you. Okay? This is not for you. So you can stand in the outside and the back fence stealing and taking and thinking you're eating. You ain't eating nothing. You ain't taking nothing. You ain't stealing nothing. Because the first and foremost, if the spirit ain't in you to line up with the spirit that he sent to teach you, then you yourself playing with yourself. That's what you're doing. So Sister Deborah, have to get out. Yeah, I'm trying to transition. Let me tell you something. After all of this is done, I'm going to go and try to get some x-rays done on my lower hip and side leg and find out what is actually going on with my hip and my body. And right, I'm grateful for y'all to allow me to feel the things that I'm feeling when I wake up, when I'm in the bed. The pain is just, I was reading up on it. It was talking about arthritis, but it could be. I've been asking the Most High Yah to deliver me fully. Now, when I get to there and they don't find anything, that's the deliverance in itself. If I get there and they find something, that's the deliverance in itself. Why? Because to me, the way Yah rumbles, no matter what it is, you keep the faith that whatever it is, you know that he can. Even if he don't, you know that he can. That's the most important thing that we need to keep in mind. And that's sometimes it's frightening to me because I know that he can, but I don't know if he's willing. I know that he can, but I don't know if he's willing. But my hope and trust still rests in him. Again, this message is detailing, and they become one flesh. Don't get it bent. That's a mystery. That's what it was telling you. Because it's not a oneness of the spirit, it's the oneness of the flesh. Should that one, he leaving his mother and father and cleaving to his wife, does that mean they are oneness of their oneness of the flesh, of one flesh? They can't enter into the kingdom in the flesh. So something got to go on in their spirit. See, that's what y'all don't understand. You can sit on this devil platform and look at Deborah all cockeyed if you want to. That's your flesh thinking it's entitled to something. It's entitled to a message. Your fleshly ears, it's entitled to hear. It's entitled to see. It's entitled to be on here searching and listening to what Sister Deborah is saying when you're not entitled. You're just stealing. You're just taking. And it ain't helping you. It's hurting you. Because you're the opposite. But yet you said, but I just imagine Judah having a different mindset than Yeshua HaMashiach, but yet set his tail still right there, even though his destiny was hell. What can I say? Shalom and shalom.